A lot of people assume that you need a building permit to put up a hoop house. Here's a few reasons why that's likely not the case. Today we're walking through the specific reasons we did not need one here at our farm and why those same reasons likely apply to a lot more growers than you think. We didn't skip a permit, we didn't get lucky, we simply built a hoop house that didn't need one anyway. We're outside of Paris, Texas, out in the county. In places like this, the county sets permit requirements for greenhouses and hoop houses. If you need to look at where your county may or may not require a permit, I would start at your local USDA office, perhaps your NRCS office, or the general number to your county offices. Any of those folks likely have to deal with that at least every few weeks or few months. My advice is to do all of this through email, and when somebody responds and they say you don't need a permit, just make sure to save that email. And here's how counties tend to look at agricultural structures like hoop houses. They take a look at what the structure is for. Our hoop house exists for plant production only. No public access, no events, no gatherings. This distinction matters more than most people realize. Temporary structures like event tents or circus tents are also considered temporary, but they are regulated very differently because people gather inside them, and that triggers fire, egress, and occupancy rules. A growing structure does not fall into that category. As long as the use stays agricultural, it stays in a different regulatory lane. All right, folks, I know what a lot of you are thinking, the same thing I would be if I was watching this video. It's like, hey, sometimes we have a farm tour or something like that. The odds of somebody coming in and actually saying anything about that, as long as you're not like too boisterous about it or do it all the time, are highly unlikely. A lot of farmers that we deal with have these type of interactions with the public, as long as you're being as safe as possible, and especially if you had a double door on the end for those egress issues, which is just good practice for your own farm anyway, you're likely going to be okay. This is one of those things where a lot of people worry about the building permits, but after the fact that it's made, doing things like a little tour or running a little bit of electricity to the hoop house itself is likely not to cause you any trouble. And if these are things considering and you really want to make sure you're following all the rules and you're that type of person, go ahead and include that in some of the early communications with whatever office that you decide to go through for your hoop house. The other thing the county or city is liable to look at, is this a temporary structure or not? Now, I know we just talked about circus tents and gathering tents. This is a little bit different. Remember, it's under the lens of growing plants. So our hoop houses use ground post as a movable footprint. Now, again, we have to think about this from the county's perspective. I know, and you know, that we're going to put these up and likely never move them again. But that type of anchoring drove into the ground is possible to move these hoop houses if you ever needed to. It's not permanent construction, and it can be removed without demolition. That aligns with how temporary agricultural structures are defined locally, and is a major reason permits are often not triggered in rural counties. Hoop houses also fit within existing agricultural allowances. Nothing about this build will exceed what the county already recognizes as normal for agricultural productions. The size, layout, and intended use all match what they already see from growers, and when a structure fits inside existing expectations, it usually avoids any additional reviews. Let's talk a little bit about electricity. Utilities are one of the fastest ways to change how a structure is classified, especially if electricity has hard connections, which often imply permanence or occupancy. Keeping structures standalone without electricity can help keep the project simple from a regulatory standpoint. So when it comes to electricity, if you take a look at some of the fan options, they're simple plug and play. And what I've seen a lot of people do is we'll go ahead and run a temporary line out to the structure, as in an outdoor plug situation, and simply plug in those components with extension cords, going along with that temporary theme. If you want to make sure you cross all the T's and dot all the I's, and go ahead and ask whoever is in charge of issuing these permits if there's even something like that in your area. That's why if you get a hold of somebody at your local or county level and ask them all these questions up front, you have their permission to go ahead and move forward, usually without any penalty or any requirement whatsoever. One thing that may help you out is going through a company like us that is USA made. Bootstrap Farmer has hoop houses in all 50 states, including Alaska and Hawaii. And our tech team regularly helps out people at the county level and the NRCS level, navigating them through some of these issues on your behalf. It's something they do every day, they're used to it, and let us help you with the county and kind of help cut some of the red tape. Oftentimes we find that somebody at the county level, this is often the first time that they've encountered a hoop house build like this, and it's simply a matter of checking a box off the paper. They're usually outside of their element, And because our tech team does this every day, they're able to walk through some of the talking points that we're giving you here today, so you don't have to, so we can go ahead and get your building up. Even when a permit is not required, counties still want clarity. If an engineering or load questions ever come up, we can give you some documentations, but we can also help steer that conversation to help you over some of those hurdles. And if you want to learn more about that, the next video that we have out next Sunday is covering the load structures. It's one of our most popular questions that we get both here on YouTube comments and in customer service. What's the wind load? And we're going to cover that. So go ahead and subscribe, and we'll see you next week for that. So if you're considering a hoop house, the next step is simple. Call your local USDA office or your main general county office and ask for direction as to who to talk to. Go ahead and give them the specs. All of our hoop house plans are downloadable, and you can hand those off to them, and feel free to call our tech line with any additional questions. Again, you're simply building a hoop house. You're not building anything that's going to be occupied. We'll see you in the next video.